Former New York City power broker William Rapfogel pleading guilty today in a kickback scheme case, stealing millions of dollars from the Metropolitan Council on Jewish Poverty. It's the charity that he headed up. Very close to State Assembly Speaker Shelley Silver. Rapfogel's wife is longtime chief of staff to Shelley Silver as well. Dominic, I'm curious, Rapfogel's guilty plea here. Is this bad news for Shelley Silver or good news because it gets Rapfogel out of the way, maybe even shuts him up, if there's anything to...
Well, one, Willie Rapfogel did a lot of good for the city of New York with the Met Council, benefiting a lot of communities with housing programs, employment, and so on. But he pleaded guilty today, and what it means for Shelley Silver is, unfortunately, this story may have legs. We know as a fact that, as of right now, reporters are still looking at all types of angles on this story. So who knows? You know, the speaker put a lot of money, taxpayer money, rightfully so, some would argue, into the Met Council, and now all of these things are being investigated.
One of them up to Harlem in the South Bronx. Charlie Rangel, as you know, is in a big primary fight. It may be a four-way primary fight in that district. He's going to get a little more help, and big-name help at that. Bill Clinton is going to come to his aid and endorse Rangel. First of all, I'm a little confused about the dynamics of this. Why is Clinton coming to the aid of Charlie Rangel? What's in it for Bill Clinton, and would it work in his district? You would think there'd be some sway.
It's a smart move for Clinton all the way. There's no question about it. First off, his office is right there in the heart of the district.
Moved out of the district, moved out of Harlem.
But he's been, I mean, he used to walk down there.
Right.
He was always around there, number one. Number two, he had an issue when he went against Barack Obama and the black community, potentially. So here he is, embracing somebody that the black community thinks is fabulous. The rest of the country, and frankly a lot of New Yorkers outside his district, don't have any love or affection for him for the most part because of what he's gotten wrapped up in before and because he's been there too long. Bill Clinton's kind of saying, hey, let's let this guy leave on his own terms. It's a win for Bill. It's a win for Rangel, too. Don't forget that district is less black now and more Hispanic.
Well,
for the first time, last campaign, I think, Dominic, was the first time that he actually Rangel admitted he had some Hispanic roots in his family after he'd been redistricted.
This is true. It's a win-win. I agree with you, Obi. It's a win-win for Rangel. Remember when Bill Clinton was the president of the United States, one of the empowerment zones that he started around the country was in Harlem. So he brought it to Harlem and gave it to Charlie Rangel. Bill Clinton, I'm not going to say loved in the black community, but he's well-liked. Sure. Well, especially in Harlem.
He was, to some extent, the first black president, was the line they said prior to Obama being there. That was always what they said.
Think about this for a second. A president of the United States leaving office sets up shop in the heart of black America. Think about that for a second. Because every time I pass past that building, you know, I think about the fact that Bill Clinton had set up shop there. This may be enough to push Charlie Rangel over the top.
Remember, when that story broke, it was like news for 2 or 3 days. The president opened his office, not in New York City, big deal, in Harlem on 125th, not mistaken.
Yes. All right, we've got to take a break. Up next, the nation's highest court upholds Michigan's affirmative action ban. Is this a win or a loss in the battle against racial inequality? The panel sounds off next.